There's a narrative out there that says in the late 20th century, the welfare state was rolled back, government shrank, we had Thatcherism and Reaganism, and we lived in this neoliberal small government environment. But that's not what the figures on redistribution show. The figures on redistribution show that we've got steadily more of it. So if you look in the United States, in 1979, the bottom fifth of earners received 32% of their market incomes in transfers from the government. Today, on the latest figure from the Congressional Budget Office, that's 72%. And the top 1% pay a higher average rate of federal income tax now than they did in 1979, albeit not the highest over the period. And so we've had much more redistribution in America. Now, one counterpoint to that is, of course, that inequality has gone up when you look at people's earnings. So we've got a chart on this, again, showing the CBO data that show what inequality measured by the Gini index, the common measure of inequality, has done before and after taxes and transfers. And you can see that steady upward trend in the dark red line in inequality before tax and transfers. What you can see in that pinker line beneath is that after tax and transfers, inequality has been much flatter. And we're sort of towards the higher end of the historical range there. So this greater redistribution in America over the long term has lent against this increase in inequality, arguably pretty successfully. Then when you look in the rest of the rich world, it's gone even further, especially since 1990. You have inequality going up in the 80s, but since 1990, inequality after tax and transfers has generally gone down in the rich world. And this has been particularly acute in Europe and especially in Britain. And we have a chart here of British incomes over the past decade or so, and it shows income growth at different positions in the income distribution, 10, 25, 50, 75, 90. You can see as you go up the income distribution, the income growth people have seen really goes down. And that's because British income taxes have become a lot more progressive, a lot more redistribution has gone on. And indeed, inequality in the UK, if you look after taxes and transfers, is now lower than it was in 1986, which is pretty extraordinary given the narrative about ever rising inequality that you hear in lots of places. It's simply the case that governments are doing more redistribution than they used to. And like I said, America is sort of offsetting rising inequality. In Europe, it's swinging the pendulum the other way, and you've got falling inequality in many places.